A valuation expert calculated Caitlin Clark's value, and the results were so astronomical he thought he must have made a mistake. Few names resonate as powerfully as Caitlin Clark's. After a stellar college career at Iowa, where she broke records and captivated audiences, Clark entered the WNBA with the Indiana Fever as the #1 draft pick in 2024. However, the fanfare surrounding her arrival brought into sharp focus the disparity between her on-court impact and her off-court earnings, sparking conversation about the financial value of star power in the league. Enter Dr. Ryan Brewer, a man described by the Indianapolis Star as a renowned valuation guru. To put things into perspective, Caitlin Clark's rookie contract with the Indiana Fever was set at $76,535 for her first year, part of a 4-year deal totaling $338,056. While substantial for many, this figure seems almost ludicrously modest when juxtaposed with the economic impact she's had since joining the league. Brewer's calculations to that effect are astonishing. Calculating Caitlin Clark's value. According to the finance professor's calculation, Caitlin Clark's value is significant. Very significant. Unprecedented, perhaps in all of sports. When IndyStar asked Brewer to put a price tag on Caitlin Clark, what she has meant financially to the WNBA, her city, and the country in her rookie season with the Indiana Fever, the numbers were so shocking that Brewer was sure he must have made some mistake, the outlet writes. According to Brewer's numbers, Clark has been responsible for an astonishing 26.5% of the WNBA's activity this season, including attendance, merchandise sales, and television viewership. This means that 1 in every 6 tickets sold at WNBA arenas can be attributed to her. And her games have not only doubled, but tripled the league's average viewership. That is astonishing. LeBron James is most likely not responsible for 1 in 6 NBA tickets sold. Maybe Michael Jordan had a similar impact? Magic and Larry combined might have seen similar valuations, considering they lifted the NBA out of the trash heap at the time. Brewer's analysis reveals that Clark's influence has had an economic impact of over $36 million on Indianapolis alone. It illustrates her capacity to transform not just the game, but the local economy. It's like purchasing the Mona Lisa from Leonardo da Vinci for $1.25, then turning around and selling it for $36 million. You're shortchanging Da Vinci, just like the WNBA is shortchanging Clark. Related, Caitlin Clark effect. WNBA set to secure groundbreaking $2.2 billion media rights deal, quadrupling revenue. Not much the WNBA can do right now. While Caitlin Clark's value dictates the need for her to be paid far more than her current salary, the WNBA is stuck. They are almost entirely subsidized by the NBA and are being run into the ground by inept leadership. Just days after reports surfaced that the league was set to lose a staggering $40 million this season, players threatened to strike next year and demanded their rightful share of business. Your business isn't making money. Not even close. And you want them to pay you more? Perhaps a few seasons' worth of Caitlin Clark ratings can turn the tide, but try to get your finances into the black first. Yes, Clark helped bring unprecedented growth in ticket sales and ratings. But you're still losing $40 freaking million. As we watch Caitlin Clark's career unfold, her impact on the court is undeniable. Off the court, her situation underscores a broader conversation about the economics of women's professional sports. It's clear that while Clark's salary might not currently reflect her worth to the Fever and the WNBA, her influence could be the catalyst for change. She might push the league towards a more equitable financial future, where star power is not just celebrated but also fairly compensated. Keeping an eye on her, Sue Bird predicts Caitlin Clark's successor coming from high school. Who is the next Caitlin Clark? The rise of Clark in popularity is one that is for the history books, as her popularity and charisma propelled the WNBA, and some could argue women's basketball in general, into heights never before seen. But as her time in college basketball has been long over and is not making a name for herself in the WNBA, someone would eventually rise to follow in her footsteps with the same appeal, charisma, and popularity that she has. And if Sue Bird is to be asked, she might have a pick already. In one of the episodes of the podcast, A Touch More with Sue Bird and Megan Rapinoe, The Seattle Storm team co-owner named Rutgers Scarlet Knights high school basketball guard Kiyomi McMillan as someone who might soon rise in college basketball and have the same popularity as that of Caitlin Clark. I also want to shout out Kiyomi McMillan, a guard from Rutgers, Bird said during the podcast episode. She had a monster game. It was against, I believe, Georgia Southern. So not a top 25 team, but she had 25, 11, and 6, and it was her deep three that was kind of exciting. Bird likened what she saw in McMillan to the same Caitlin Clark effect, as well as the effect of the rise in popularity of Steph Curry. She was throwing them up there from deep, she continued. Is that the Caitlin Clark effect? We used to call it the Steph Curry effect. So I'm keeping my eye on her. Caitlin Clark's guesting fee reveals she earns more than her WNBA salary. As she enjoys the WNBA offseason, Caitlin Clark would not be short of funds, as if reports are to be believed. She can earn her entire year of salary from the WNBA in less than an. According to reports, Caitlin Clark's speaking fee for a virtual guesting starts at $100,000 for 30 minutes of talking. While no information for a live guesting was given, it is expected that it would cost more to have Clark appear in a live event. This would also mean that Caitlin Clark's 4-year contract with the Indiana Fever, worth $338,056, is only equivalent to her speaking at an event for more or less 2 hours. For more sports content, follow us at Hardwood Heroics for your NBA and college basketball reading fix. You can reach out to Dana Gulto through email at papadamf@gmail.com. To read more of our articles and keep up to date on the latest sports news, click here. Dan has been active in sports since 2016 and has worked behind the scenes as a scriptwriter for basketball, volleyball, and other sports. At a time, Dan has also been working as a sports commentator for CBA Pilipinas. During the pandemic, he has also been actively writing betting articles for CashBet and BetNow.